Hey folks, welcome back to WarThunder. Today's video is another a semi-C highlights, let's call it. I know I'm kind of going heavy on the aircraft stuff at the minute, and most of you are probably here for the tanks, but I'm just trying to get the rocket and bomb loadouts unlocked for the Hunter F6, because I really miss flying CAS and Sim as a backup to the Challenger too, because back in the day when the Chieftain Mark 10 was the top dog, the Venom was quite apt at killing tanks with RP3s and stuff. But now there's faster stuff to fight it back, and better ordnance, missiles, and all this sort of stuff. It just can't really hold its own anymore. So, whilst there's the Javelin and the Hunter to take, they can only deal with other aircraft, and you kind of need something that can dish out the damage to tanks as well. And so that's what I've been playing EC for. Even though the Hunter F6 has been the intentional focus, what's been happening is that I've actually been having really great random success in the Javelin, and I have like a really love-hate relationship with the Javelin. That's a MiG-19S, just buzzed us. Pardon me. He doesn't even attempt to hide or disappear or uses massive power advantage or anything like that, but you'll see that we get him in a minute. But yeah, my love-hate with the Javelin. I'll go long stretches of trying to make it work and just getting completely shit on by everything, because it is quite easy for even like a 7.0 to catch you off guard and just end you in seconds, because if they catch you low energy, whilst your acceleration's pretty good, you have to know that they're there to give you a chance to actually utilise it, because if they catch you in a low energy state when you don't have the time to make use of it, to make use of your acceleration advantage, then you just get fucked up. And I've just been getting lucky these few games. Every time I get attacked by anyone, they manage to bodge their first attempt, and that gives me a chance to either run if it's something that's like a lower BR or same BR as me, or outmaneuver it if it's a BR that's above. It's actually a good job the Hunter F6 is on the same team as the Javelin, because that's the one thing that has this sort of high speed acceleration and maneuverability characteristics that would really make it difficult for a Javelin to evade. You'll see here we're fighting a T2 in the F6, and whilst it's possible that this T2 pilot's not the best, my Hunter is still almost entirely stock. I think I might have the compressor in it now, but I just keep pulling hard G-turns and rolling, and he ends up overshooting, and he bleeds off so much of his energy. Like here, he starts turning the other way, away from me, and I'm thinking, well, alright then, just give me an easier time. But I think it's because he'd spun it. I think he'd got a wing stall from his low speed, and it just flicked him the other way. And then I actually lose him against the ground here. But I'm trying to guess where he is, and you'll see him crash in the lower left corner of the screen. I'll take it. Maneuver kill on a T2 and a Hunter F6. It seems kind of ridiculous that this is 9.7 and the T2 is fucking 10.0, but I'll take it. So I then get killed by this guy, oddly enough, who sneaks up on me and shoots a missile at my ass. So I take off in the Javelin, spot him almost immediately, and then I don't even know if he saw me coming then. Maybe at the last second. But I just got mad lucky with that run there. And then we immediately get buzzed by a MiG-19S, I think it was. So key to using the Javelin is shallow turns, because if you've flown it, you'll know that it bleeds off speed like a motherfucker if you well, if you fucking do anything really. So only pull tightly if you need to get guns on target, or if it's to evade, or just to stop you from losing them, I guess. Just be wary of the fact that without the energy you are just going to be a brick. But I've actually killed quite a handful of MiG-19Ss in this thing. This guy starts running off into the sun, and I'm not sure if he did this intentionally or not, but I'm pretty sure that the fire streaks aren't supposed to track the sun. And I remember that that was something that was modelled in game at some point or other, but they seem to have changed it so that it does. And they've also just made them more shit than they were, because they used to be really quite strong at the initial track, but not be able to do any manoeuvres beyond that. So if you turned away once it had set its intercept path going, then it used to really struggle to follow. Javelin has really good stall characteristics. You can pretty much sit in level flight at about 80 miles an hour, which for reference is the takeoff speed of the very first Spitfire that you get in game. It's obscenely fucking slow. With landing flaps down, you can just hang in the air forever. Like, you'll see that I think I got my speed down below 50 miles an hour in that climb before it forced me the other way. And because of how heavy it is, it gains its speed back incredibly quickly in a dive. So here I see a 6, call cover, check the map, and it turns out it was a fucking friendly, so I could have actually kept following this MiG-19 up. Can you shut up? Cats. But anyway, because of the altitude that this MiG is at, we managed to keep track of him just because of his controls. And then he gets distracted and actually starts going after that friendly that we saw. And I get quite close to him here. Shallow turns, but we're also climbing, so we're bleeding off the speed incredibly quickly anyway. Just wanted to get that missile off, just on the off chance that it hit, and the fire streaks are obscenely heavy. With all 4 loaded, it adds more than half a ton of weight to the aircraft, so even if you don't think they're going to hit, it's worth getting rid of them on the off chance, just because it helps your performance a little bit once they're gone. I'm not that worried about the MiG-19S in Sim. I know that in RB, a good pilot in a MiG-19S can pretty much wipe the floor with everything, but in Sim at low speed especially, it's incredibly difficult to aim the 30mm on either of the MiG-19s, but more so on the S because it doesn't get the radar gun sight. And the Javelin having a radar gun sight kind of gives it an edge, and it's also got much better low speed handling, as we talked about before. So if this guy's at low energy and he's stalling out, then it's very unlikely he's going to get guns on target easily without spraying a hell of a lot of ammo and getting lucky. So as long as I can keep him slow, the Javelin has a pretty massive advantage against the MiG-19. And I think at this point he realises his mistake and he just tries to burn away, and he actually does, but the mistake that he makes is that he burns away and then assumes that I'm gonna give up or lose sight of him, and I don't, and I just follow him. I just keep following him even though I start to rip. I've already lowered my throttle to 50%. That's the last fire streak that I just got rid of. So we've got clean wings now. Even though I'm redlining, I'm keeping an eye on him just at the bottom. I can't even see him in the playback. I don't know how the hell I was seeing him in the actual game, but I guess the quality gets butchered a little bit when you watch the recording back. But he runs right back to his own lines, right over his own airfield. And at this point, I lost him, but I managed to re-spot him just here. And I assume he's going to keep the same path, so I roll over to get a better angle, a better view. And as I do that, he basically pulls it vertical and I lose sight of him. Where the fuck did he go? As you can hear. So I'm looking at those AI that circle every airfield, and I'm thinking he might be one of them. I zoom in for a better look. I realise that they're the AI. I realise that I'm near his airfield. And then I zoom out and see his contrail taking him high. I don't understand how he didn't open up way more of a gap doing this. He must have climbed on like 50% throttle with an air brake out or something, because he should have been miles ahead of me. But I managed to end him in one burst there. That's the end of the highlights. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.